there were a lot of strikes, unions, and laws that were formed around labor during this time period. So one of the first ones was the Washerwomen's Strike of 1881, which was taking place in Atlanta, Georgia. 3,000 black women who were laundry workers staged one of the largest and most effective strikes in the South, as they were upset that they were being treated like slaves. 98% of black working women in the South cooked, cleaned, and cared for children in mostly white households, and they worked 7 days a week with low pay, and they got little respect. Another strike was the Great Southwest Railroad Strike, and that was in March of 1886. And 200 workers who were members of the Knights of Labor went on strike against the Union Pacific and Missouri Pacific Railroads. And this strike was one of the largest and most important battles between management and organized labor. The strike began after the owner of the railroads banned the Knights of Labor and the union's members, as they refused to operate any train with Wabash cars. And the strike was called off by the union president, as it led to this strike led to an immense increase in the membership of Knights of Labor, and it ended in June. And the members of the Knights of Labor increased from 100,000 to over 700,000. And the Haymarket Square Affair on May 1st of 1886 in Chicago's Haymarket Square. A bomb went off in the middle of a protest rally against the killing of 4 strikers who had been on strike for the 8-hour workdays. And this began the international tradition of celebrating May Day for workers' rights. Some unions that were formed during this time period. In 1881, the Federation of Organized Trades and Labor Unions was formed by Samuel Gompers, and this union particularly focused on the practical goals of shortened working days and higher wages. And this union supported strikes that were acquired to these goals. Another union that was formed in 1886 was the American Federation of Labor, and this was taking place in December. The American Federation of Labor was formed by Samuel Gompers as well. He formed a lot of unions, and they were all really similar, but they all have like slightly different goals. So this goal was towards unskilled workers, and he knew that if this union had unskilled workers, the thank you. The political and economic powers would not be as strong. This was really similar to his other one in 1881, but this goal was to reshape the fundamentals of American life, securing higher wages for its members, as well as shorter work weeks and work hours. And another union that was formed, this one was like a combination of the American Federation of Labor, and then it had the National Civic Federation. So, and this was in 1900, and this was founded by Ralph Easley and also Samuel Gompers. And this organization attempted to act against socialist success and to develop labor support by joining capital and trade unions in a national effort to end industrial disagreement. The goal was to strengthen public confidence by initiating social and industrial welfare programs. These programs were protective legislation for workers and advocating for stern government involvement with business affairs. And there are also a lot of laws created around labor. So in January 31st, 1865, the United States Congress approved the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution to abolish slavery, and the amendment was then submitted to the states for ratification. And then on December 6, 1865, the amendment was ratified, which resulted in the abolishment of slavery. In 1868, the first 8-hour workday for federal workers took effect. And so then this was in 1911, but the Triangle Fire, it was on March 25th. The Triangle Fire Shirt Waste Company factory in New York City burned down, killing 145 of its workers. Deaths were preventable, as most of the victims died from neglected safety features and locked doors within the factory. And the tragedy brought widespread attention to the dangerous conditions of factories and led to the development of a series of laws and regulations that better protected the safety of workers. And that's it.